Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gut Health Happy Hour. I am Marissa. We do this happy hour every single week in this group at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm having a day today, guys. I've spoken to so many of you today. There must be something in the air where people are reaching out for help, which I am absolutely here for. I'm really frustrated because the theme is our medical system is failing you. And it gives me anxiety. It breaks my heart because you are well intentioned and you are trying your best and you're doing all of these things to help yourself. And doctors are not only not helping you, but a lot of times they're making things much, much worse. Few examples: not listening to your symptoms and just telling you have IBS and sending you out with a med, putting you on omeprazole for decades that's supposed to only be taken for 14 days. Taking out your gallbladder. I've talked to 2 people in the last 2 days where their doctor just said, "It's your gallbladder. We need to take it." And that makes things so much worse. The list can go on and on, right? What the message I need you to all listen to today is that all of these things that I talk about in the Gut Health Happy Hour, this one included, supplements, these are all Band-Aids, okay? Everything that you try that is not getting to the root cause of your issues is a Band-Aid. So you have a gunshot wound with a bullet in it, and you're putting fiber and Metamucil and Miralax and omeprazole and a diet change, and all of these things are Band-Aids. You're just covering up this gunshot wound. So maybe the blood isn't coming out because you have so many Band-Aids on it, but the problem is still there. The wound is there, it's not healed, and the bullet is still in there. We haven't even taken the bullet out. So what I really need everyone to understand in this group, because I'm just fielding so many questions about what can I take for this? What can I do for this? What can I do for this? It's never just one thing. It's never just something you can take. It's never just a diet change. Okay. We have to figure out your root cause. If we don't figure out the root cause, anything else is a Band-Aid. On top of that, I'm not legally allowed to recommend things for you. So if people ask me, what can I do for XYZ? I am not legally allowed to answer that. What I am legally allowed to do, because I do in my business and I've worked with hundreds of women now over the years, is help you build your health so strong that all of your symptoms go away and don't come back. That is basically, in a little nutshell, what I do with my clients. And we're going to go through a little bit of that today, because what I want you to know is I'm going to talk about supplements, but supplements are another Band-Aid. Yes, they are helpful. Absolutely. But if you have not figured out your root cause, your problem is going to keep coming back, and it's going to make other things worse. If your body's yelling at you with bloating and heartburn and indigestion and loose stools and constipation and cramps, that's your body trying to tell you something is wrong and needs to be fixed. So rather than just putting a bunch of stuff on top of it to try and make the symptom go away, we actually need to fix the problem, right? So that's what I do with my clients. We get to the root cause of the problem, we address it there, and then we build your health so strong that those problems are never going to come back. So I just want to say that before we started this presentation, so that you totally understand that anything I do in this presentation is not solving your issues, okay? I also just want to point out that none of this is a substitute for your doctor's advice. Only your doctor is legally allowed to tell you what is best for you. So nothing in this workshop is meant to specifically treat or heal any specific diagnoses. These are blanket recommendations that I have used with myself and with my clients, and you must always check with your doctor before you proceed with them. Okay, so legal stuff out of the way. Let's get started on our presentation. So we are here to discover how to use supplements to support your digestion and not waste your money in the process, because so many people are throwing money in the garbage by buying supplements that are not good, not appropriate for them. The thing about supplements is they are not regulated, so they don't even have to have in them what it says on the bottle. Just another wonderful thing we have going on here in America where we don't regulate our supplements. So the key is finding supplements that you actually need, knowing what brands are actually trustworthy, and taking targeted supplements that are good for you that aren't going to be doing more harm than good, right? So I know we have a lot of new people in the group. A lot of you have been here for a long time. This is clearly an old slide because my kids are older now, but I am Marissa and I'm the facilitator of this group. I am the founder of the Happy Belly Method. I'm a certified transformational nutrition coach specializing in digestive health, and I have a Pilates studio. I teach Pilates. If anyone wants to do my class, please come do it. You will feel so amazing. I've got two 23-year-old kids, Jake and Riley. They still live here with me, which makes me so happy. They're probably moving out this year, and then I'm going to be an empty nester. If anybody can relate to that, if you have advice for me, let me know. And I love all things food and wine. I love eating so much, you guys. I love eating on vacation. I love going out to eat with my husband and my kids and my friends. And that's what I want for you. I want you to love eating. And so many times when we have gut issues, we don't love eating because we're either running to the bathroom, having awful bloating and cramps, you name it, right? There's everything in the world under the sun can happen after you eat. And I had that for 30 plus years. This was me in my early 20s, so 20 something years ago. But since I was a baby, I was always nauseous. I always felt like I was going to throw up. I always felt bloated. I always had a stomach ache. I ended up with really bad adult acne, really bad anxiety, really bad insomnia. All of this was stemming from my gut. My doctors were not helping me. One doctor told me I must just be defective and gave me a bill and sent me on my way. So I had to take matters into my own hands. It took me 10 years of feeling like shit, reading books, listening to podcasts. I went to school to become a nutrition coach. All of this took me about 10 years until I started feeling better. Now, today, I feel like I can't believe how good I feel. I wake up every morning with energy. I'm in a good mood. I have no gut issues anymore. I have totally steady weight. I can go on 6 trips like I did this year and not gain a pound. It's all from getting your body to work right. That's what I was missing all along. My body was not working right, but I had no idea. So then this is me today, and it's a world of difference. This is why I do what I do. This is why I share these things with you, because I want you to have this transformation. And I use the word transformation very literally. I don't want you to just feel a little bit better or just not be bloated or just not have constipation. I want transformation. I want your life to be joyful and energetic and passionate. Okay. So we're talking about supplements today. As a bonus for showing up, we will give you, my wonderful assistant Caroline is here. Caroline will send you over my favorite gut supporting supplement list after the session is over. You can just say guide in the comments and she will send that to you after the session is over. There's also, I have discount codes in there for you guys so you can get discounts on your orders. Now, again, as much as I love these supplements, these are not going to solve your problems. So I just want to reiterate that for you. These are to support the process, not be the process, right? So here's the thing about why I feel supplementation is necessary in the world we live in today. Only 1 in 10 Americans gets enough nutrients from their food. That means 9 out of 10 of us are nutrient deficient. The body cannot work right without all the nutrients. So 9 out of 10 people's bodies do not work right. So you can avoid things like obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. All of these things can be avoided if we simply get enough nutrients. But this is really difficult to do for many reasons. So supplements can be helpful for getting all of your nutrients, but can also be helpful if you have gut issues. And if you're in this group, then that is probably a yes. But bloating, gas, fatigue, constipation, loose stools, heartburn, reflux, leaky gut, insomnia, and then of course, inflammation is at the root of almost everything going wrong with our health. So, inflammation, I would say, is probably our number one goal when taking supplements, besides just making sure we get all of our nutrients, because reducing inflammation is going to help your body to be able to work better, to be able to fight these things off. If your body's in a constant state of inflammation, it's constantly fighting, right? But again, this is not getting to the root. Supplements can help reduce the inflammation, but whatever is causing the inflammation also needs to go away, right? So, and this is what I want to reiterate, that I do not recommend supplements for specific ailments, only foundational supplements that would probably be good for almost everybody. So, we're not talking about specific supplements for specific ailments, okay? This is how I can give you specific supplements for specific ailments, is by doing this gut microbiome test that I do with every single one of my clients. This is the test that will tell us exactly what is going on in your body. And that way we're not guessing. And I work with a company called Microbiome Labs. I work with the practitioners from that company to go through your whole health history, go through your test results, and create a targeted protocol for you, so that we know that the supplements that we're giving you are exactly targeted for your issues, whether you have pathogenic bacteria living in your gut, whether you have an imbalance of good bacteria. A lot of people are severely lacking in good bacteria. Maybe your estrogen is too high. Maybe you're not making enough of a B vitamin in your gut. All of these things we can tell from your test. And that is the way I can specifically recommend supplements for you. So, just at a bare minimum, this is what our body needs, right? Which is crazy. If you think about, this is what our body, minimum what our body needs, not for an optimum amount of energy and health, but minimum. And so, knowing that this is what we need, it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And this is exactly why when I work with my clients, I provide them with the exact products that are going to help them get every single one of these things in an optimum amount. But to get all of these things into your body every day, we need to get a certain amount of foods in the body. We need to eat all of the colors of the rainbow. You've probably heard me say this many times, to eat the rainbow. So, the rainbow, every different color has a different property that works in your gut. So, red has its own anti inflammatory things that are going on, like tomatoes, the lycopene in the tomatoes, or whatever the red food is. Red foods also can feed Akkermansia, which is one of our gut bacteria that protects us from leaky gut. So, each different color of the rainbow has a different job in the body. So, berries, dark leafy greens, squashes, all of these things, try and get the rainbow into your diet. We need properly raised protein, but just the right amount of protein for you. You don't want to get too much, especially if you have gut issues. But we can see that on your gut test if you're getting too much and you're not breaking it down. But properly raised, pasture raised chicken and eggs, grass fed beef, wild caught fish, any meat that's not properly raised is probably being fed a shitty diet, which means you're eating that shitty diet. And who knows how many hormones and antibiotics and all of those things those animals are getting. So, getting those properly raised meats are going to get you more of your nutrients without depleting them. All kinds of different plants, nuts, seeds, beans, whole grains, healthy fats. We all need healthy fats. And then bonus foods like sprouts and mushrooms and sea vegetables. So, getting all of these things into your diet is, yes, how we ideally get all of our nutrients. Unfortunately, the reason why we have so much nutrient deficiency, there's many reasons. Okay, not consuming all of those things would be one of them. Eating too many processed foods and fast foods, processed food products that aren't real food, your body doesn't know what to do with them. And so it actually depletes the necessary things in your body, because your body is, I don't even know what this food is. Now we've got to work to fight it off. Whenever your body has to work hard to do something, it's going to use up your energy providing nutrients, right? So, non organic foods that are sprayed with chemicals like glyphosate. I could do a whole 3-hour presentation on glyphosate. Glyphosate is the main ingredient in Roundup. It is not only now sprayed on our conventional food, but it's also in our organic food, because If an organic farm is right next to a conventional farm, the glyphosate gets down into the soil, goes through the air. So now our organic food actually has glyphosate as well. It kills our good gut bacteria. It chelates our minerals. So it binds onto minerals so you don't absorb your minerals. Every process in the body requires minerals. So if anything depletes our minerals, it's going to, your processes in your body aren't going to work right. It causes leaky gut, and it's also linked to cancer. Okay, so this is a big problem, glyphosate. We'll talk about that in a little bit. GMOs, genetically modified foods. These are food-like substances. They're not real food. So we put these things into our body and it shocks our body and it has to work overtime. It doesn't know what this item is that you just put into it. Leaky gut or Crohn's, any kind of damage to the lining of the gut is going to prevent you from absorbing your nutrients. And they say 80% of people have leaky gut. I would say it's probably even higher because of all the glyphosate in our food and chemicals in everything that we eat and put onto our body. But you have these little villi, it's these little fingers that are in your intestinal lining. Those grab onto the nutrients to absorb into your small intestine to go into your bloodstream. Those villi get damaged and then the nutrients don't get absorbed anymore. So that's what happens in leaky gut. Crohn's, anything that's damaging to the inside of the lining is going to cause you not to absorb your nutrients. So we have to give the body easy nutrients to absorb so that it doesn't have to do all that work if there's damage there. Depleted soil. You guys, we are only as good as our soil. Period, hands down. If the soil keeps getting worse at the rate it's getting now, there won't be any food to eat in 200 years. Our soil has got to be mineral rich for our food to have its nutrients, for us to get our nutrients. They need to rotate the crops. There's too much monocropping now where there's one crop grown in this soil and it just keeps growing and growing. There's no ruminant animals that are fertilizing the soil. Farmers aren't taking care of it. So we need to eat food that is grown in mineral rich soil, period. And we need to speak up really about making sure that we don't let our government feed us shitty food that has no minerals in it. So like I said, poor farming practices, use of chemicals, all of that is really depleting our soil, depleting our food, depleting us. Microbiome and balance. And so this is what I test for. One of the things that I test for is if your ratio of good to bad bacteria, I use bad loosely because in small amounts, they can be good, but if they overgrow, they become bad. This is going to throw off everything in your body. So we really need to get that body into a good balance. And then medications. If you saw my post today about PPIs, it's an epidemic. How many medications people are on and how quick doctors are to put you on them without doing any other work. Every medication has a side effect. And I'm not saying not to take medication because absolutely some of them are necessary. I have a medication that I take every day. So I'm definitely not anti-medication, but I also do everything else in my power to support my body so that this medication doesn't have a negative effect on me like it would if I had a weaker body, right? Medications can be life-saving and medications can be something that we do need to take for our health, but doing that without doing anything else is what I am against. And that's typically the route that doctors like to go. So if you are nutrient deficient, if you are one of those 9 out of 10 people that is nutrient deficient, it's probably not your fault. You're probably doing most things right. And if you were doing this exact same thing that you're doing now in 1940, you would have all of your nutrients. There wasn't any glyphosate. There weren't food-like substances. Food was just food. You just ate fruits and vegetables and meats and potatoes and went along your way. There wasn't all the stress that we have now. There wasn't all of the antibiotics that just are given out like candy that deplete you. So many things are going into this epidemic of being nutrient deficient. So let's just get rid of the blame and the shame and say, we're just going to choose better things now that we know better things, right? So let's just go over some very basic supplements that are good for digestion. So magnesium, every single person on the planet probably needs to be taking magnesium. This is something we are very deficient in. You can get it from food. You'd have to really eat a lot of that mineral rich food to get it all, but it's in black beans and dark chocolate. That's why if you're magnesium deficient, that's probably why you crave chocolate, because your body's smart and it knows that dark chocolate has magnesium, not the Reese's peanut butter cups, but the good dark chocolate, almonds. But there are many different forms you can take for many different things. One type of magnesium is good for sleep, one's good for the brain, one's good for constipation. There's all these different forms. So finding the form that is right for you is going to be really beneficial. Vitamin D, again, almost everyone is deficient in vitamin D because we don't get out into the sunlight. I just heard a stat today that humans used to spend 85% of their time outdoors like 100 years ago, and today we spend 2% of our lives outdoors. So that's really the only way we can get vitamin D, and you have to get it without sunscreen on. You have to be in the direct sunlight and get it on enough skin. So short sleeves, shorts, flip-flops, bare feet. You need that sun on your skin for at least 15 minutes in the bright sun. Who does that? So supplementing with vitamin D is really important. It's really important to get your vitamin D levels checked. I do have a test. I forgot to grab that link to give to Carolyn, but I do have a test for vitamin D. If you want to take that, just type vitamin D test and I can send you the information on that. But I live in Seattle, so I definitely take vitamin D almost year round. I do spend a lot of time outside in the summer. B vitamins. So your B vitamins are actually created by your gut bacteria in your gut. Fascinatingly enough, they're water soluble, so you can't really overdo it on B vitamins. So the best way to do it is in a B complex because they all work synergistically and you want them to be in a good balance, or one can throw the other one off. But we can actually see on your gut test how well your body is making B vitamins. But you can find them from mostly meat sources, animal sources, eggs, things like that, but leafy greens as well. But I take a B complex every day, and it's probably something that most people benefit from. Fiber. So plants. I challenge my clients to get a minimum of 30 plants per week, and that is fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, sprouts, mushrooms. Did you know mushrooms are not a vegetable? Because every different plant has a different kind of fiber. I actually don't like to say fiber. I like to say fibers with an S, because there's so many different kinds of fibers. And a lot of them are prebiotic, which means they feed our good bacteria. So we want to get all the different kinds of fiber because it's going to feed all your different bacteria in your gut, and your gut bacteria are the ones down there doing all these really difficult jobs, and they need something to eat. And then zinc. So zinc is one that's really good for the gut lining. Also is great for the immune system, which your immune system lives in your gut. So that makes sense. Chickpeas, grass-fed beef, oysters, cashews, black beans, pumpkin seeds. Zinc is just another really great digestion supporting supplement. So let's just talk about, there's different kinds of supplements. So there are real food supplements, and those are the ones that probably 80% I use are the real food supplements. And these are the ones I use with my clients. They are literally just real food, properly dehydrated down into this little capsule. So your body knows what to do with it, right? Like it's real food. It goes into your body and your body goes, oh, I'll take this and I'll put it into the blood, or I'll take this and I'll put it into the bones, or wherever it needs to go. There's also synthetic supplements that are created in a lab. There's all different forms of synthetic supplements, and some of them are absolutely not good for you and are not even going to help your body. And some of them are okay. And sometimes we need a little bit of synthetic supplementation if we can't get it from real food. But for the most part, I really love taking real food supplements because you can actually absorb it into your body and use it properly. You can take capsules and tablets, but they're also, if you have gut issues, I would suggest liquid. There's some liquids you can just put right under your tongue or just swallow, because some people don't even break down capsules. Their body isn't working so well and they can't even break down a capsule. So if that is you, or you have issues with breaking down food, you might want to use liquid. You could also use a powder and put it into a shake. I have a lot of people who either don't like to swallow pills or have a swollen sort of esophagus, and then we just put their supplements as powder into their morning shake. Super easy. There's also gummies. Most gummies I do not recommend because some of them have high fructose corn syrup and tons of sugar and red dye number 40 and all of those things. So please read labels and make sure you're not using those kind. There are a couple of kinds that I use with children, but I try and make sure they don't have all the terrible ingredients in them. But like I say on the slide, reading labels is essential for purchasing the supplements that are going to be good for you. Don't want to have ones that have all kinds of other crap in them, right? So let's just talk about reading labels for a minute here. So vitamin C is something that I take every day and I recommend. So the one on the right with the check mark is the one that I take. It's naturally occurring with 5 different kinds of naturally occurring foods that have vitamin C in them. Okay, what do most people take? I think you guys know the popular vitamin C supplement that I'm talking about. It's got ascorbic acid, which is the synthetic vitamin C. It's not real vitamin C. It's created in a lab. It's not real. So that's number one. But then it also has sugar, glucose syrup, pectin, citric acid, natural flavors, which are never natural. It's a loophole, and color. So is that even good for you? Probably not. So you can see the difference. And the other one is too small for my eyes. But you can see the difference between this label and the other label. Which one would you rather have? Put real in the comments if you'd rather have a real supplement from real food. Let's take a look at another supplement. Okay, fiber. Tell me in the comments what every single doctor tells you to take if you have constipation. What is the brand? What has everyone since the dawn of time taken? Metamucil, right? Everyone I've ever known, I think, has taken Metamucil. Let's just take a quick look at the ingredients. Psyllium husk, wonderful. That's a real ingredient. That's fiber. Now let's look at the rest. Maltodextrin, citric acid, natural and artificial orange flavor. Who the hell even knows what is in that? Aspartame, which is poison, fake sugar that causes cancer, and yellow number 6. We don't need all that other crap. We just need the fiber. So now take a look at the fiber that I take, and you can clearly see the difference, right? It's just real food. Flax and rice bran fiber and oat and millet and quinoa, chia. Guar gum is actually, if it's not organic, it's not great, but guar gum is actually something that can help you absorb your nutrients because it helps coat your digestive tract and absorb your nutrients. Fennel, black walnut hull, which is really good for getting toxins out of the body. So real food, right? So you can see the difference there in the supplements. There's no artificial colors, there's no fake sugar, right? These things are going to damage your body more than do good. Okay. And then let's talk about nutritional meal replacement shakes because Lord knows there's one for everyone on the planet. There's so many different shakes out there, and I beg of you to read the ingredients. If you have any kind of meal replacement or protein shake or whatever it is, they are so chock full of garbage. I beg you to read your ingredients. So I have one here that is from a very famous brand that many women use to lose weight. Let's just take a look at what it is. Soy protein isolate. Terrible for you. Number 1 ingredient, terrible. Sugar, number 2. That's a lot of sugar. It goes in order. The highest containing ingredient is number 1, and the lowest is down below. So that's a lot of sugar. Soluble corn fiber. That's a hard no on the corn fiber. Whey protein concentrate. Again, not a real food. So far, I don't see any real food. Sugar, I guess you could say is real food, but it's so processed, it's not food anymore. Maltodextrin, we see that again. I covered up something here, but something else with soy. So endocrine disruptor, hormone disruptor. Salt, okay, that's a real food. Cellulose gum, a filler, erythritol, fake sugar, natural flavors, which are never natural. They're always some kind of chemically processed food. Steviol glycosides, so some fake form of stevia. Xanthan gum, a thickener. Carrageenan, a thickener that is linked to all kinds of gut issues. Vanilla extract of food, and a probiotic. Great. It's not real food. So you're going to put this in your body and your body's going to go, what is this? They put vitamins in it, all synthetic vitamins. But again, your body doesn't absorb synthetic vitamins like it does real food. And looking at this meal replacement shake that I use, we've got flax, alfalfa, spirulina, chlorella, quinoa sprout. There's 9 sprouts. Sprouts are the best thing you can put into your body. A whole mushroom blend. Mushrooms are so incredibly amazing. Pumpkin, broccoli, cabbage, sea kelp, cherry, right? And all organic. Everything on this list is organic. And it's tested for glyphosate to make sure there's no glyphosate. So can you see the difference in these two shakes and how one would be a little bit better for you than the other one? That's why I implore you to read labels. Ginger, what kind of sweetener do you recommend? Honey or maple syrup? Those come from the earth, right? Anything that just comes from the earth and is used in its natural form is good. Raw honey. Don't get the kind with the little teddy bear because that's processed. It'll lose all of its enzymes. But if you find raw honey or 100% pure maple syrup, not Mrs. Butterworth, 100% pure maple syrup, those two things are fantastic sweeteners. There are a couple of other things too, but I would just go with something that's real food. Good question. So that's just a little lesson in reading labels to make sure that what you're putting in your body is real food. So here are some of my favorite supplements. These are things that I take every single day for my gut. So number 1, digestive enzymes. If your body is not breaking down food, if you take digestive enzymes before you eat, they can help you break down your food for you. You also need to improve your stomach acid. It's not just digestive enzymes that break down your food. If you have a stomach acid issue from PPIs or acid blockers, acid reducers, we need to build back up your stomach acid for sure. These are if you have pancreatic insufficiency and aren't creating digestive enzymes, you can take digestive enzymes before you eat. I used to have to take these at every meal. I don't anymore, but I still take one when I go out because when you go out, there's so much more fat, so much more like bad stuff when you go out to eat. So I still take these when I go out. Fish oil. So fish oil is the inflammation guru, right? If you have inflammation in your body, fish oil is a must. But really, and this is a blanket statement, I think fish oil is a must for just about everybody. We need omega-3s in our diet so desperately, and this is the way to get them. So we want our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio to be about 3 to 1. Omega-6, 3 to omega-3, 1. Omega-6s are the more inflammatory oils. In America, most people are 25 to 1, omega-6 to omega-3. That is a very scary number. We need to get you down to 3 to 1. And I have a product that will test your level. You can find out exactly what your level was. As healthy as I eat, mine was still 9 to 1. Not as bad as the typical American, but still something I needed to work on. And I have not retested, which I need to do. That reminds me. The test automatically comes in the mail 4 months later. So you test, you take this fish oil, and it is supposed to get you to 3 to 1. So I need to test, but I've been taking this fish oil every day. I was taking fish oil before that, and I was still 9 to 1. I also eat salmon. It's salmon, sardines, anchovies. Those are really the ones that are high in omega-3s, those fatty fish, but people just don't eat a lot of them anymore. And actually, if you eat too much fish, then you have a chance of poisoning. So it's a tough world we live in these days, and that's why supplementation is so important. Put omega in the comments if you want me to send you this link for this omega-3 test. Really important if you're dealing with any autoimmune issues, anything that you need to reduce your inflammation, which means everybody, this would be a really great thing for you to do, and it's not very expensive. This is something I take every single morning, Aloe Digest. I put it in my morning shake. Aloe is just a wonderful, soothing ingredient for the gut, but it also has prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and coconut water, which is high in minerals. So I love this supplement, and this is good for, you could do it at night for people that kind of get that heartburn when they lay down and go to bed. But you can put it in water and drink it any time of the day to soothe things that you've got going on, any heartburn or indigestion, things like that. I just love this product. And then from the same company. So this company is 99% what I use all my products from for myself and for my clients. It's certified organic, certified glyphosate free, grown in that mineral rich soil. This Biomedic is the only product on the market proven in preclinical trials to remove 74% of glyphosate out of your body in just 6 weeks. So, really important supplement that if you're not taking it, you're going to have glyphosate living in your body. There's just absolutely no doubt about it. It's in our rain, it's in umbilical cords, it's in all the food, and it's an epidemic. So this is something I will never go without, Biomedic. When you're first starting out, I would take a heavier dose twice a day to really clear out the glyphosate. And then as long as you're making your food at home, mostly organic, you could probably go down to 1 or 2 a day. But if you eat out a lot, if you travel a lot, I would definitely take this whenever you're eating out, not at home. It's going to be non-organic, right? It's going to have glyphosate. Some kind of probiotic, not specifically this one. I would suggest some kind of probiotic, and we can see from your gut test exactly what probiotic you need, because you could just be guessing, right? You are guessing if you haven't taken your gut test. So when we see on your test exactly what strains you need, we know what probiotic is going to be best for you. But we always want to be improving our gut bacteria, right? And then this is, speaking of inflammation, you guys have probably heard of turmeric and how anti-inflammatory it is. The problem with turmeric is it's not very absorbable by the body. Now, most people put black pepper with it, but black pepper in these concentrated amounts that they put in these supplements can cause leaky gut, and it can cause damage to the gut. So this is a technology that is patented, and it is up to 277 times more absorbable by humans than your average turmeric supplement. They've created this technology, and it's in a liquid form. You just have to put it in a warm beverage, and it's up to 277 times more absorbable. So you could say turmeric in the comments if you want me to send you that. It's a separate link. Most of these things are going to be from different companies, so it might take a little bit of work to get some of these things in. But so, as I was saying, this is one part of the process, right? So to build that health home that I talk about a lot, where I want you to have the strongest, healthy body you can possibly have, so that no matter what you go out and do, your body is going to be able to handle it like a champ, right? This is the way we do it. It's with my 4 pillars of health, the Happy Belly 4 pillars. So this is what we're talking about right now, nutrition. We've already discussed why you're probably nutrient deficient. So we need to get that nutrient pillar up really high. And this is what I do with my clients. I give them all the necessary products to make sure that their nutrition is off the charts good. That way, your body can actually start to do its processes and start working right. Okay, the second thing, and that's what we do with the gut test, is the balance the gut microbiome. I have never ever tested anyone that doesn't have dysbiosis, and that included myself. And I didn't have any symptoms when I tested myself. So that just goes to show you that dysbiosis is extremely common because of all the things we've already talked about. And that when we see exactly what's going on in your gut and we can balance everything out, it's like a whole new world for you, because your gut bacteria truly are in charge of everything. Detoxification is the third pillar. We live in a toxic world. We've got to make sure that when these toxins come in, they go back out. So we've got to make sure we're putting a lot less toxins into our body. We've got to make sure we're supporting our detoxification organs, and we have to make sure that we don't have leaky gut, because when we have leaky gut, the toxins are going to sneak through and they're going to attack your thyroid and your joints and all kinds of other things. So we've got to get the body a lot less toxic, right? And then we have to improve that gut-brain connection. So our brain and our gut talk back and forth to each other millions of times a day through the vagus nerve. So from the base of your skull, this nerve runs down and kind of fingers down through all of your organs, and your gut bacteria send these messengers up to your brain, and your brain sends messages back. And if there's any kind of dysfunction there, we have got to work on improving it, or your issues will never get better. So this is really what's missing in the medical system. None of this happens in the medical system, right? Nothing I just mentioned has ever happened at your doctor. Tell me yes or no. Does any of this happen at your doctor? So that is why we have a sick society. If medications really worked, why would everyone still be so sick? Right? So if one of your pillars or more is depleted, your roof falls down, your house crumbles, and you can't withstand the storms. Even if your house isn't all the way down, it might be hanging on by a thread, then a storm comes, now your house is crumbled, right? So it's not the last thing that happened where you go, "Oh, as soon as that thing happened, I got constipated." Right? If your health home was really strong, it should be able to withstand all these things that come its way. And that way, for the rest of your life, you can be worry free because you've built your health home so strong that you can go on the vacation, you can get a virus, you can get all of these things can happen to you, and you still come out on the other end just as strong because you have built the foundation of your home, right? So, this is what I do with my clients in the Happy Belly method. We get to your root cause, we build all 4 of your pillars really strong, and I send you out into the world to enjoy your life, right? And this is how we do it. So, in that nutrition piece, when we talked about not having mineral rich soil, our food doesn't have the vitamins it used to have. We've got to get more vitamins into your body in a way that your body can absorb them. And that's why I provide my clients with something called the ULT. It's got the Biomedic in it. It's got these power shakes, which will just flood your bloodstream with so many nutrients. You just can't believe how good you feel because your body can actually absorb them, even if you have leaky gut or Crohn's or whatever it might be. We take a protein supplement so your body can actually start to build muscle and burn fat because it has pure protein coming right into your lymphatic system. And then we have a nighttime drink to make sure that you get your deep sleep at night, because if you're not sleeping at night, your body cannot function. So that's the nutrition piece. Then we take your gut microbiome test, we take your results, create a targeted protocol for you. So we will know exactly what is going on in your body. Everything else is a guess. Everything else your doctor is doing, or anyone else, any diet plan, anything is a guess. We will test, we will know exactly what is going on. We take that protocol, specific foods, specific supplements, other behaviors that you need to start to work on to improve your health, and you put that protocol into place. I have a step-by-step online portal that I've created over the last few years. I've been working on it. In the beginning of COVID, when I had to shut down my in-person business, I created this online portal so that I could still keep helping people online. So this is what I've taken my 10, 15 years of knowledge that I've learned, and I have put it into step-by-step little bite-sized pieces so that by the end of the portal, you understand exactly what your body needs to work its best. There's meal plans, there's lessons, there's exercise videos, there's all my guides to clean beauty products and proper food brands. All of those things that I've created are all in this portal, and you will have access to that forever. We also have guest workshops in there, breath work and yoga and all kinds of good things in there, anything that's going to support your body. I do a weekly group call so you can go through your wins, your celebrations, whatever you did well this week, so we can start training the brain to always look for the positive and celebrate ourselves, work through roadblocks. We can work through the modules one by one to make sure that you're all caught up with your modules in the portal. Anything that we need to work on for the week, we will do in that weekly group coaching call. It's great for support and motivation and accountability too. And then you'll have access to all of my virtual Pilates classes, all my recordings, plus I work with a collective of women, and you will have access to all of their classes as well. So it's about 80 different exercise classes per week that you will have access to through my Engage Fitness platform. So that in a nutshell is what I do with my clients. If you want to talk more about how we can work together, the best thing to do would be to book a call. And my beautiful, lovely assistant, by the way, happy birthday yesterday, Caroline. She is going to put that link in the comments for you to book a call. And this is where we can go through what has been going on with you, what has worked, what hasn't worked, what your goals are, and your next best steps. Because I just want you to move forward, whatever that looks like, whether we work together or not. I want you to move forward, get your next best steps. Stop putting Band-Aids on your gunshot wound. Let's get to your root cause, build your health home as strong as it can possibly be, and improve your health span, the number of years you live healthfully, right? I just read a stat today that people retire at 65 and then die at 76. 11 years to be able to really go out and enjoy your life. And do you think those people were like skipping around healthy. No, they probably had diabetes and were on cholesterol meds and everything else. So I want you to live to 96 and be in Italy drinking the wine and eating the bread and running around with your great grandchildren, right? That is what it's all about. So here's what we'll go over. I went over that clarity for both of us. And if you are a good fit for my program, then we'll talk about inviting you into the program. This call is 100% free. I want you to come because you're going to get benefit no matter what. I'm here to guide and support you no matter what. Even if we don't work together, I am just here for you. This is not going to be a coaching call. So I'm not legally allowed to coach you unless we work together, but I can still help you find your next best steps. And then as promised, your bonus for today is my supplement guide. Everything that I take, not everything, because I take a lot of supplements, but the basics of what I take and also special discounts for them. And then also I have a supplement guide for children as well. Now, again, always check with your doctor before you start any new supplements and for your children as well. But you can put guide in the comments or kids or both if you want both. Okay. Question time. Anybody have questions? Let me see if I can keep an eye on the chat here. Throw your questions in the chat. Is there a catch? There's no catch. It's completely free and there's no pressure to sign up. I only want to work with people who are ready to work with me. I'm not going to try and talk you into working with me. That's not how I roll and that's not who I want to work with. I've already tried everything. Should I still book a call? Yes. I know you're frustrated, but the everything you have tried is the Band-Aids. You haven't tried my method yet. You haven't tried getting to the root cause and solving it there. I will still need to talk to my husband or my doctor first. Should I still book a call? Absolutely. Talk to them, bring them on the call. I will talk to your husband or your doctor or both. So absolutely. So book your call today. I look forward to talking to you. I really encourage you to book a call because there's no point in not doing it. And then here's just some testimonials from past clients. I can't tell you the amazing results we get when we put this program into place. I have never once had someone go through my program, implement everything, all the 4 pillars and everything that goes with those 4 pillars and not achieve their goals. It hasn't happened. And if it did happen, I would continue to work with you until you achieved your goals. So better bowel movements, energy way up, being regular for the first time in her life, having energy, no diarrhea and gas and bloating, down 11.5 pounds in 10 days. This client, everywhere she went, she looked for the nearest hospital because she always thought she was going to have to go to the ER. And she says, my life has drastically changed. My social life is so much better, my sleep, my mood, everything. So that is my plea to you to take good care of yourself. Stop with the Band-Aids. Get to your root. Go to your doctor for the things you need to go to your doctor for 1,000%. But please don't let that be the only thing that you do is listen to your doctor. Your doctor is not here to hold your hand and walk you through transformation. Your doctor is there to diagnose you. Then what happens after that? We need to take that into our own hands. So I will see you next week. I love you all. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next week.